Yo, can we see me? Can we hear me? Are we good? Can we see me? Can we hear me? Hey, what's going on, Mexicans? Excellent. Excellent. Like the live, guys. Like the live. Okay, it looks good on here. It looks good on here. Like the live, guys. Don't forget to like the live. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Good, good. Excellent, excellent. How we doing? How we doing? Hold on. Get this down here a little bit. There. Oh, hold on. I'm a little quicker now. There we are. Much better. What's up? Excellent. Drop some dark game? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a Friday night. If I drop dark game for you right now, it won't be useful to you till next Friday anyway. So I might as well drop it next Thursday. Do I smoke? No. No, I do not. I do not smoke. I do not partake in the darkening of my lungs. That's how I view smoking, by the way. Not to be judgmental or anything. But no, I really do try to stay away from anything that will take away from the efficiency of my body. You feel me? Will you watch Tyson versus Jake? Yes, I actually got it on TV right now. I'm waiting for the thing to start in 24 minutes from now, right? Yeah, there's a countdown on my TV, so I'm literally waiting for that. And for those of you that have a Netflix account, you can go watch it on Netflix, which is very, very convenient and very smart too for Jake. Jake is a smart businessman. To be able to have a PPV but on Netflix is interesting. It's an interesting setup, to say the least. Never heard dark game. What is it? Dark game is any kind of game that is borderline unethical. It's powerful, but it usually comes at a cost. You know? Yo, Jace, how would you go about getting her friend? You should have an easier time with that if she's saying nice things about you, which she probably will if you're a good boyfriend. You know? The friend is always complicated. The friend is like a double-edged sword. They're easier to get because of the close proximity you have to them, but they're like a nightmare and a half. If you don't manage that entire situation correctly, you will lose both girls. So the real advice, the best advice is don't go for the friend, honestly. Unless you just want to blow everything up and be reckless, then whatever, do what you gotta do. But you're really just gonna go off of, you know, pre-selection, word of mouth, and go from there. You might have some resistance your way in terms of like, you know, her having a morality and being like, oh no, I can't do that to my friend, blah, blah. But if you're in a good position psychologically in her head, then you should be fine. Paul or Tyson? Paul. Not much of a debate there, really. Paul is going to win. I made a video about that on my other account. If you want to go check out Jace the Thinker, I made a video about that. But yeah, I expect Jake Paul to come away with the victory. And I mean, he could do what he should do, the smart thing to do, which is stay away from Tyson, keep at a distance for 2 or 3 rounds, wait for him to gas out, then finish him off. That would be the ideal strategy. But I think if he puts something good together, he can get Tyson out of there in the first round, which would be very shocking, you know, even for me, right? Just because I can predict that doesn't mean I wouldn't be pleasantly surprised. Well, not pleasantly surprised. I wouldn't be particularly happy watching Mike Tyson get knocked out, obviously. But, yeah, I expect Paul to win regardless. Who do I think is going to win? Jake Paul. Paul can't beat real boxers. Not unless they're way, way past their prime, no. Tyson is 60, LOL. So that's one thing I was saying to my girl very recently. I was saying it to her earlier today. No matter what the outcome of this, Jake Paul is the bad guy. You know what I mean? So if he loses, he lost to a 60-year-old. If he wins, he beat up a 60-year-old. Like, it's like fighting a girl. There's no win. There's no glory. You know? There really isn't. But I think for the real core fans of boxing, there will be respect given to some degree. Because 60 or not, Mike Tyson is still, you know, he still approaches boxing the way he does. So to be able to, you know, crack that puzzle would be very interesting to see. You know? What are some small compliance tests to ask when you're talking for 2-3 days? 2-3 days on the phone? Is that what you're asking? You can ask her for intimate information. Information that is intimate isn't just about, like, you know, black and white information, like stuff about her personally, but more the things that are emotionally charged. So when it comes to getting or extracting information from women, the kind of information you're trying to get from them is the one that gets them to feel something the most. That is what I refer to as intimate information. So you can ask her questions that she's not willing to answer right now. Those are the best questions to ask. They're the best, like, compliance to get. Tyson uses stem cells. So does Jake Paul. Jake Paul is on so much HGH, the size of his head is doubled, and no one's talking about it, but I noticed. I'm referring to the girl I talked to you yesterday about, who was interested in me, but I left on scene. She got some interest in me, or at least had some. Okay. Boo, go Tyson. Hey, listen, I hope I'm wrong. I loved Mike Tyson a lot more than I loved Jake Paul. But as someone that actually gets punched in the face very often, I gotta go with the sound logic. I gotta go with the physics here. I gotta go with what makes sense logically. And it doesn't make sense for a 60-year-old to keep up with his 27-year-old in any capacity. I don't care how much more experience he has. I don't care how much better his technique is or his decision making in the ring. He has an uphill battle to climb that he is not built to climb anymore. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you look at the last fight, his very last fight was with Roy Jones Jr. That's the fight I've been watching. I haven't been watching any of his old film. This is what, this is, how the difference between someone that actually fights and a casual fan of fighting is you know where to look, right? I haven't seen or watched a single tape from Mike from his old stuff from when he was in his prime. I've, however, watched that Roy Jones Jr. fight with him like a couple of years ago, maybe 30 times at this point. And one thing that's interesting to me about that fight is how, frankly, uncoordinated he looked in the beginning of that fight. He calmed down as the fight went on, and then he gassed out. But in the beginning, he looked like he was trying to trap a chicken, which is fair. It's Roy Jones Jr. we're talking about. They might have both been past their prime, but Roy Jones Jr. is still, like, he was known for his speed. That was his thing back in his prime. And Mike was trying to corner him in the, he was trying to get him trapped. And he looked weird. His footwork was off. It was all over the place. He looked like he was shifting and jumping at the same time. It was weird. If we see that today, it'll be very interesting. Because Jake Paul will take advantage. First, damn, you've been on a streak. Yes, I have. What behavioral cues are women looking for? Anything that signals or indicates the presence of power, really. Power, confidence, calm, competence, really. And anything that signals a sense of control and certainty. Those are the behavioral cues they're looking for. So anything you do, make sure you're doing it from a place of certainty, and you should have the correct line of action. Some examples of asking for intimate information to keep it fun and not only like plans or dreams. I have all that stuff detailed in the digital pre-selection. It's an entire course I made about that, where I talk about how to actually get, intimate information out of women and stuff like that. That's a lot of stuff to explain right here. Will you stream the fight here? Of course not. That's illegal. But I might watch it while y'all watch me. I might do that. We'll see. We will see. Isn't that right, buddy? We'll see. But yeah, that's proper illegal. And I'm not one of these TikTok channels that can just do weird stuff like that and be okay. Nah, TikTok is already on my ass. TikTok pays very special attention to me. I'm pretty sure TikTok is convinced I'm the next Andrew Tate, so they treat me like I am. But it is what it is. I'm okay with it regardless. Anyway, what y'all up to tonight? What's going on with you? I already know what I'm gonna be doing in the next 15 minutes. I'm gonna be looking at the undercard for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson event. I've seen a few fights in there that I'm interested in, that I want to see, that I want to, pay very close attention to. Other than that, I'm really waiting for the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight because, it'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting. Ironically enough, almost everything that Jake does well counters what it is that Mike does well. Right? Like I was talking about his ability to fight going backwards. People underestimate how rare that skill is. To be able to throw power while going backwards is a very rare skill, even amongst elite level fighters. You'd be surprised how many elite fighters you look through and barely any of them can correctly fight off the back foot. Right? Jake Paul, for whatever reason, God just blessed him with that special talent. He can do that, and he did that like his first. What was his first major knockout? Nate Robinson, the basketball guy. He literally knocked that guy out going backwards because Nate was blitzing in and he went backwards and he still landed that overhand right. Very impressive. You've never seen Mike Tyson do that before. Mike Tyson cannot fight off the back foot. All right, it's part of the reason why he lost so badly to Buster Douglas when that upset happened. But if you push Mike Tyson back, he doesn't really have much of an answer for you. His entire style is predicated on his ability to be the bull. Mike Tyson is the bull. He's not the matador, though. So you got someone to push him on the back foot and make him fight with his back straight up. Yeah, you pretty much got a Mike Tyson that can't fight back effectively. The problem is Mike Tyson has always had that the massive threat of power. That's the reason why you didn't really see anyone try for that strategy, because to push Mike Tyson back would be to be in his face. To be in his face like that up close, you're talking about one of the greatest, if not the greatest, inside pocket boxer of all time with that peekaboo style, right? That's a death sentence and a half. It's a very risky strategy. But if I'm Jake Paul, I take those chances because he's 60 now. You know what I mean? That's at least how I'm thinking about it. I might be wrong. What do you think about Dimitri Bivol and Better Biv? So I haven't gone back to watch that fight yet, but I've been hearing things about it, here and there. I haven't actually gone back to watch it. I've been rewatching a lot of MMA stuff. I keep telling you guys I'm more of an MMA fan than boxing. Boxing is just an aspect of what I, study. But remind me again, Bivol lost, right? And apparently he lost bad, right? How could Tyson win? It would have to be the way he's used to winning. Finish Jake Paul off very quickly. Like, the ideal scenario for Tyson is the bell rings, Tyson is already in the center of the ring. Right there, smack in the middle center. He's already taken complete control of the ring. Jake begins to move laterally around Mike, and all Mike has to do is catch him, interrupt or intercept where he's going to be. Right? That's how you use footwork to kind of corner your opponent, right? I wish I could go into like the details of this, but there's a difference between following someone around the ring and shrinking their space, right? Mike Tyson, when he's in peekaboo stance, is actually prime for like cornering someone. He's good at it because the peekaboo stance is low-key kind of squared. It's not a bladed stance like a karate, like a tempo karate, traditional tempo karate stance. It's a squared stance. So it almost makes the opponent feel like he can reach this way and reach that way as easily, right? As opposed to if you had a more bladed stance where you would have a glaring weakness if they were to be able to circle away from your lead hand that way, right? But that would be the ideal scenario. He takes control of the center stage. Jake probably runs around laterally for a while, but then he catches Jake, he intercepts him, he goes to the body, because that's where he's gonna have to start, right? If you're Mike Tyson, you're not headhunting. You gotta go for the body for two reasons. One, Jake does look very soft in that midsection. He doesn't look like he's been doing his core training correctly, right? He looks rather fat. You know, maybe he added the weight a little too quickly. Maybe that affects him, who knows? Regardless, though, it does add more weight to his mass, which means it also adds more ferocity to his power. When you're heavier, you're more powerful because physics, right? But yeah, if I'm Mike Tyson, I go for the body. I soften up the body. I get Jake to wince and moan and a few times. And then when he begins to lower his hands to try to protect the body, right? Try to overcompensate to protect the body, now he leaves his face open. All I got to do at that point is put him in the corner, buddy, head. Signature Mike Tyson lead hooks. And probably an uppercut or two in there when, you know, Jake is trying to protect his head. You slip one in there between the guard. And, yeah, the fight should end, theoretically, from that point. Because if it's, he's not going to be as, you know, slick as he used to be. He's not going to, you know, be able to keep up with that intensity and speed for a long period of time. He's old now. But a well-placed shot, old or not, it's Mike Tyson, you know. That's how he wins. But that's the thing, though. That's just about the only way he wins. Do you really think Mike Tyson lasts all the way into the final rounds of this fight? Granted, these are short rounds. So I guess they kind of favor Mike Tyson a little bit more because they're not long, drawn-out rounds. But regardless, Mike Tyson wasn't always known for his cardio. Let's just put it that way. Even in his prime, the blueprint on Mike was survive the first 3 or 4 rounds and you should be fine. And that was in his prime. Imagine now when he's pushing 60. Like, no. Mike has to win that fight and win that fight quickly. That is his option. If it goes into the 3rd round, he's lost. Even though you don't see the judges give it to Jake or you don't see Jake knock him out, it doesn't matter. Once it gets to the 3rd round, you can be sure that Mike is lost. You feel me? It was a close fight. I'd say he got robbed. Oh, did he now? For the Bivol, I'm going to have to go watch that one myself. I want to go see what's going on there. Honestly, a lot of the fights I've been rewatching are Tom Aspinall and John Jones fight. And the more I look at it, the more I realize, yeah, if I'm John Jones, do everything in your power to not fight that guy. Like, he's dangerous. He's the last person you want to face at this leg of your career if you're John Jones. Everyone's like, John Jones is ducking. Absolutely he is. And he should. The fuck? Absolutely he is. He should be scared. That's a very terrifying opponent. Also just had a girl that wants me to be her PT. What is the required what? And what's a PT? I don't know what that means. I have a few questions why I knew some girls from online. They became workmates, we chat a little in our life, but don't spend a whole break together because we're not any close. Do I be open and say that I recognize you from before and keep advancing like that? No, because now you're weird. You're creepy. I'm going to give you a very simple rule to follow in life. You have to be very disciplined about how you meet women. Because if you fuck it up and meet them incorrectly, you'll end up putting a reputation on yourself that you don't deserve. Oh, personal trainer type shit. We'll get to you, but let me get through this because let me explain what I just said. It's probably still confusing. Let me really flesh it out for you. If you recognize a girl in real life that you met from, that you've seen before online, the last thing you want to do is mention that you recognize her from online. Why? Because it shows a lack of abundance and options if you can remember a random girl you met online in real life, which automatically makes you look like a stalker creep. Not a good idea. You don't think I've met multiple women online that I'm like, oh yeah, I met you, but that's in my mind though. I don't go and tell them, oh, I remember you. I remember this girl I ended up dating, and this is months down the line while we're still dating. She goes, you do realize the first time we met wasn't the day we met at so-and-so place, because I think we met in like a fucking coffee shop or something like that, like a tea spot back in where I used to live. And she's like, we've met each other once before, right? On Hinge. And I'm like, oh, really? I don't even remember. She's like, of course you don't remember. You and all your horrors, that was a joke. But I did remember. I did. And my ability to not mention, like, oh, you're the girl from Hinge. We were talking that one time. Remember that joke? My ability to keep that in the background and not say shit, that's why I ended up getting her. Because she very quickly realized, oh, this guy doesn't even fucking remember me. If he doesn't remember me, how many women must he be dealing with? Pre-selection, instantly. You see what I'm saying? So, that's a very important cardinal rule to follow. Never try to use the fact that you've run into them online as some kind of an in to try to get to know them in person. That just makes you look fucking creepy. Okay? Let's see. We chatted a little before, back and forth through text. She slid to my stories. It's not random. I just saw her, but we both act only professional at work. Good. Keep it professional. Right there. Like, what do you want something to happen now? No, you keep it professional. Keep it professional. And you don't say shit until she, reaches out to you. Until then, keep it professional. Is John Jones being a protector by behaving like he has been lately? He's surely risk averse, if you want to look at it like that. He's surely being more risk averse. And I get that, What sort of things do you say during intimate times? I feel like in my head with that. I feel like I'm in my head with that. Oh, okay. You can just try not to say nothing. You can just shut the fuck up, really. There's nothing wrong with not saying anything. You really don't have to say anything. If you're so far in your head like that, then you should probably learn more to be in the moment as opposed to trying to figure out what to say. Does that make sense? You should genuinely just be in the moment and enjoy the moment. Stop trying to make the moment perfect. Trying to make the moment perfect is what fucks it up. Okay? Then do I progress normally from the events that already happened in real life? Because she's a bit more open and starts to chat to me first. If she's chatting to you first in real life, that's good. Just keep going like that. Just pretend like you've never met her online before. In fact, go out of your way to be like, you're fun to talk to at work. Let me have your number. And then she'll be the one to go, you already have my number. Right? That's how you want to do it. That's how you want to do it. Also, what should I have said when a girl told me she loves me during it? There's nothing you should have said. Like, there's no obligation on you. She loves you. What's wrong with that? And no, that doesn't now put a burden of responsibility for you to do something about it. Like, it's okay. Nothing. Literally. Shouldn't have said shit. Hey, how's it going, Kay? How you doing? You're going to see a lot of messages on Insta from me. Ignore it. I was tweaking out. I'm going to go read it now. to go see what you were tweaking out about. I don't mind you tweaking out, man. It's all good. If there's anyone to tweak out to, it's me. Because I understand, man. So it's all good. So it's whatever. I bet it wasn't, anything that was a big deal anyway, Why did John Jones rage on the cops' car saying he hates them? Because he was angry and drunk. That was the night what was the story? It was the same night he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, right? Was it the same night? Went to the hotel, something happened, wife comes out with a black eye, police gets called. They arrest him while he's driving back to the hotel. I can't remember the whole detail of the story. But I know they got him on domestic violence charges. On the very night he had just gotten inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. Which is very sad. Very, very sad. And also, in a weird way, a perfect, allegory almost for how John Jones's career has gone. It's like this massive validation, massive accomplishments, and then quickly overshadowed by him doing some fuck shit. It is what it is. D's what it is. Jace, appreciate the content. When are you gonna upload these lives to YouTube? I check for new ones very soon. Actually, I have like 6 or so I gotta upload. So I'm waiting on thumbnails and stuff. Once that gets done, I just paste them up there. Yeah, I was just bugging out from slow replies, man. Type shit. I think I was close to one-itis with this new John. Tendencies sprouting up. Tendencies. But I mean, on one hand, I am happy that's happening because that means you actually like this girl, which, we've been working together for a while now. We both know, that's been a while. A lot of these girls are not as exciting. So when you find one that is exciting, yeah, it's pretty fun. But, remember your training. Now's not the time to get overly invested and overly emotionally attached. Or else then you start tweaking out like that. You feel me? Let's see. What can a guy do to be more emotionally intelligent and strong? You my bad, I got my watch case here. You put yourself in difficult emotional situations. The reason a lot of people aren't, and by the way, emotional intelligence is it's a funny word because it doesn't really make any sense. A better way to describe it would be emotional discipline, right? Emotional awareness and understanding and discipline. I wish there was like some kind of a word to encompass all those things. Maybe we go with emotional conscientiousness, something like that. But the reason most people aren't that way, don't have a handle on their emotions, is because they keep running away from them. That's really it, right? It's right in front of you. You have all these different areas in your life that give you, that are a source of not so feel good emotions. You think about this certain thing, it makes you feel bad. Think about this other thing, it makes you feel confused. And our human tendency, because, the way our brains are set up after years of evolution, your body and your mind both work in tandem to keep you in a certain comfort zone, to keep you as comfortable in this particular homeostasis as long as possible. So avoiding negative emotion is a part of that, all right? It's a part of that. And you have to be able to catch yourself doing that and throw yourself headfirst into those uncomfortable emotions that you haven't wanted to feel for a long period of time. Whatever areas of your life those are, it could be that awkward and necessary conversation you have to have with your girl or your man if you're a chick watching, or your parents. Maybe it's with your parents you have to have that conversation. That weird source of tension that you feel with your parents or your parent, or maybe some other kind of authority figure. Maybe it's the fact that you don't have a handle on a certain area of your life and you just kind of keep kicking the can down the road, and you only attend to it when it becomes super urgent too. Like a lot of people do this with their money, especially, right? Oh, I don't have a handle on my money. I don't know what's going on with it. I never check my bank account when I spend money. Who cares? Whatever. Because you don't want to have to face the reality of, okay, let me get a grip on this. But then all of a sudden, when things start going fucked up in your life because of your lack of an ability to handle your shit financially, now all of a sudden it's the biggest problem you have. Now you'll do whatever it takes. Right? People do that with their emotions, even with their cars. I mean, those of you that drive a hoopty, you know what I'm talking about. You're driving this car. You see all the fucking engine lights all over the place, blaring, change oil, check engine, this, that, the other. And you ignore it because it's too hard to deal with that right now. Maybe it's even too expensive for you in your mind, but it's like, fuck all that. This car can work for me today, right? And you just keep doing that. And then one day, and it doesn't work. Now, the car not being able to start is the biggest problem in your life. When, in reality, if you had just paid attention to it before, you wouldn't be in this predicament now. You see my point? People do that with their emotions a lot. If the more you go out of your way to handle those weird tension and anxiety parts of your life, the stronger you become emotionally. That is what real emotional strength, discipline, and conscientiousness look like. That is what it looks like. Just even deciding to start paying more attention to a certain part of your life, that alone is a big step for most people. I'm telling you. It's hard, but it's necessary. You know? Before I'd even chopped how embarrassing. Hey, forgive yourself. It's okay. It's a girl you're excited by. It's okay. Forgive yourself. I hope Tyson doesn't lose tonight. Hope doesn't win fights, people. I'm sorry. Hope doesn't win fights. That's not how this shit works. Just like you can't say, I hope this girl pops her pussy for me. No, hope doesn't do that either. It's not how it works. You're either skilled or not skilled. And you're either in a position to or not to. It's really that simple. Work on your positioning. Jace, how did you deal with insecurities and anxiety? I watched the self-belief course, though. I literally did everything I told you to do in that course. Like, literally. That's what I did. And I did what I just told you about, which is just handling points of contention in your life that you kick down the road, that you ignore for a long period of time. It's hard. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, oh, it's the easiest thing in the world. Like, no, it's fucking hard. You know, it's hard to finally come to terms with the fact that you have to have that hard conversation with that person in your life that you love and care about, but it's a necessary conversation for you and them to move forward in a way that benefits you both without there being any weird resentment for each other. You know, a lot of you have girlfriends that fucking annoy you and piss you off and you don't like. And I'll never understand that. But I get why you're there. And you're there because you've allowed yourself to suffer in silence. Maybe it's time you don't. Just saying. There's something to think about. OJ, what was the answer to how to game her if you're a personal Oh, I didn't get back to that. That's my bad. Personal trainers, do you even need game at that point? That is the game. Do you know why a lot of guys lose their girls to personal trainers? Because they're losing their girl to a man who is positionally set up to be exactly what women are looking for on like an evolutionary level. Someone that has authority over them, so power, that tells them what to do quite literally, that pushes them past their limits, right? So leadership, and that gets them to move their bodies in ways that they don't necessarily like or are comfortable with. Does that sound familiar? Exactly. That's what a lover does. Right? So personal trainers is essentially the girl hiring a fucking lover. She might as well just pay a gigolo. You know what I mean? Didn't Diddy lose his girl to a fucking personal trainer? Right? So don't worry about, there's no game to run here. At least not in the way you think about it. Let the job you're in and the position you're working in do the heavy lifting for you. Just train these girls you can get away with touching them in the most intimate ways ever because, again, that is a job you have, and keep a professional stare on your face and tell them what to do, and then treat them with like a harshness and the strictness of a military father. That's the way I would say it, right? Treat them with the harshness and strictness of a military father. The last thing you want to be, and this is what every fucking, personal trainer, Pilates trainer, yoga teacher that, I know they make this mistake and they get in trouble for it. They think they can play that weird dichotomy between I'm her trainer versus I'm her best friend. That's how you enter the fucking friend zone. Now you're the gay best friend. No, you don't want to be that, right? You want to be the personal trainer that has a chance to fuck her? Good. Then there should be like a boundary set there, a level of respect where you go, okay, do this. Cool, I'll see you tomorrow. What's this? You're texting me after 7 p.m.? This better be fucking important. That kind of, working relationship. So that when she crosses that boundary with you, she actually feels special. You see the point? As opposed to you just let her in and, start palling with her and shit. That you're putting yourself firmly in the gay personal trainer zone. Don't do that, okay? Sent her one the other day and she replied, oh, I replied, ? She replied, wasn't expecting it, but you look good. I replied, you forgot what you asked for already. That's disinterest from her, no? No, you're overthinking it. You're overthinking it. I wouldn't call that disinterest. With that said, you might have gone a little too far in trying to impress her. Like, yes, she encouraged you, like, send me pictures, For anyone that needs context, Kay is trying to get this particular girl, and she's gorgeous, right? She's so if you saw this girl, you would understand the excitement. Trust me. But she had encouraged him because he posted a picture of himself on Snapchat. She had encouraged him, like, "Hey, delete that. You don't need anyone else to see it. Only send them to me." Here's where Kay went wrong, though. Kay thought it was a good idea to take her seriously when she said that. That's why Kay got the response as opposed to anything more exciting. You know what I mean? You were like, oh, okay, she said I should impress her. Now I'm going to impress her. You essentially failed the compliance test. That's what happened. So now you have to correct. Here's what you do. Ask her to send you one back. That's it. Simple. You're fine. It's not a devastating mistake. You're fine. You just ask her to comply to you back. Again, I keep telling you guys, it's not about how much you comply to her that makes her love you. It's how much she complies to you. Right? It's like those movies where the guy goes, but I love her. Yeah, you loving her doesn't fucking matter. Does she love you? That's what matters. Right? So make sure you get some compliance from her and you should be fine. Okay? Hey, what's going on, ESAT? How we doing? Yeah, I don't really say anything during it, and this girl I was seeing said that was a bit weird because she's talkative. So can you give me some phrases to say, or are you saying I should stay quiet? I'm not saying you should stay quiet. I'm saying whatever phrases that you want to say, you have to come up with on your own. Like, asking me for those words for your intimate time, like, even think about that. Does that even make sense? No. I can't tell you the right thing to say when it's your moment and you're the one, like, in it, experiencing it. Does that make sense? You're going to have to come up with whatever words on your own. This is why I said be in the moment. The best words will come to you when you're in the moment, because all you can talk about is the moment and what you're experiencing in the moment, what you're feeling, what you're feeling both on the physical, emotional, psychological level. Be in the moment. Like, really enjoy that shit. Really feel it. Right? You're complicating it. You're overthinking the shit. It's okay to just say whatever you feel in that moment. It's okay. It's not especially at that point, in that moment, it doesn't have to become this fucking chess match. It's not. Okay? Let's see. Oh, did I skip that? Oh, no, I didn't. Jace, I've been hanging out with my ex who has a boyfriend. She told me she didn't feel the same connection with him as she did with me. One thing led to another. We ended up kissing. She texted me saying she had a good time, but she hasn't talked to me since. Oh yeah, she's definitely stringing you on for attention. That's all you are. She's stringing you on for attention. She don't fuck with you. She didn't leave the guy and come back to you. She's still with him. I keep telling you guys, you want to observe a woman and what she wants, look at her feet. Her feet will tell you everything you need to know. I don't care what she says. I don't give a fuck. She could have said, "You're the best thing that's ever happened to her," or anything, to that same effect. The fact is, she left you, and then she went back to him. Those are the facts. So yeah, you're definitely getting strung along. Be smarter. Hey, what's going on, Profilo? How we doing? Jace, I appreciate you, man. Been watching you for a couple of years, changed my life for real. No problem. I wish I don't know what name to call you, but you're a black profile picture and a dot. that is anonymity at its finest. Well done, sir. But yeah, no problem, man. I don't think I changed your life in particular. I think you changed your life. If anything, I just kind of pointed you in the right direction. So, congratulations, putting in the work. Let's see. What's up, Daisy Chain? I don't know if I like that nickname, but I'll accept it. I'm a Daisy Chain now. My coworker waited for me extra 30 minutes. Do you remember the context? Yes, I do remember the context. People watching the live for the first time probably won't, but I do, and that's good. And that means you're making progress. So keep going. Hopefully by now you're like communicating over the phone, and you're finding a way to secretly rendezvous at some point soon. Like, you don't want this to keep being a back and forth thing for months on end. Like, at some point you gotta start making moves to, seal the deal there. It's been a week. Yeah, sounds about right. So what do you think she's been doing in that week? With her boyfriend, exactly. Forgot about that. It was a bit ago still. We'll ask her to next time. No, fucking next time. Ask her now. There's an imbalance. You've given a picture. Literally, if I were you, I would literally just send her a random text right now and be like, you know what? I just realized I'm tired of this picture I have of you from my contact list. Give me a new one. Literally, right now. Don't wait for anything. Got it, bro. So just keep a seriousness when training her and make her push herself hard. Exactly. Like, no, what's even sexier than you trying to riz them up is you showing them results. If she, for instance, comes to you and she says, I want a fatter ass, right? My PT friends will tell me, I never call them PT friends, personal trainer friends, my friends in that industry, the fitness industry, they'll tell me, like, they're privy to be able to touch girls in ways that most men just can't, especially not on the first meeting, because, again, that's their profession, right? It's like a gynecologist. Of course he's going to touch a girl's pussy. Can't do shit about it. That's his profession. But yeah, as you can't do it like you're enjoying it. The moment they feel like there's an enjoyment going your way, now you're unprofessional. That's why you have to be strict. There has to be boundaries there. Okay? She mad, angry. Who is? What do you think about mentalism? Thinking about learning it slightly. Would it be good for game? Not only would it be good for game, I have the best advice for you to learn how mentalism works. Go and watch everything, and especially this will work for you too, because you're British. Go and watch everything Darren Brown related. Darren Brown is one of the first people I ever discovered back in the day when I was first getting into like persuasion, and NLP, proper neuro-linguistic programming. Go and watch everything related to Darren Brown. He is fucking phenomenal. Right? He's the whole reason I'm addicted to anime like, Death Note and such, because psychological thrillers. He's the psychological thriller master, and he uses mentalism and neuro-linguistic programming to do it. Wait, was the profile pic thing for me? Oh, no, it was someone else. But yeah. Mentalism, very important thing to learn, for sure. Saying F off, leave me alone, but then came around and asked me, what should I do? Go home. And I said, and I said, she has to behave, never disrespect you, okay? And then you parlayed later. Okay, that sounds cool. That's wonderful. My girl cheated on me. Should I take her back? Not without her paying a massive price. Keep telling you guys, it's not the cheating that matters. It's your behavior afterwards. Because she cheated to begin with because of your behavior before that point, right? Always say it. If your girl cheats on you, it's your fault. Because women are reactive creatures. They're going off of your behavior. And if you behave in a way that shows uncertainty, then they'll try to jump ship. That's why women cheat. Women don't cheat like for enjoyment. They cheat for survival. They cheat because they don't feel safe in the relationship anymore, right? Either because they feel like, you're too good for them, and they feel like they can't keep your attention, and they can't compete with the other girls around you, if that is the case. There's something in your life, and several things in your life that take way more priority than them, and they just feel like they're too low on the priority list. They'll never become that important to you. So they leave to go and find someone that'll pay more attention to them. Usually someone lesser, but whatever. Or they leave you for the most common reason, which is that you're not good enough. You make them feel unsafe. You feel they think of you as a bitch. So they leave you to go find someone stronger, someone that they feel like can actually keep them safe. And I'm not just talking physical strength here, by the way. I'm talking psychological strength. A lot of men lose their girlfriends primarily because of weakness, neediness, and an uncontrollable need to seek validation from the girl, to use the girl as a way to fill the gaping hole of insecurity in their heart. No woman signs up for that when you get into a relationship. No woman wants to be your fucking therapist or nanny or mother. So when they begin to see behavior like that in you, they start looking for an exit. And a big part of their exit plan is where they exit to. Because women don't break out of relationships and go, okay, cool, now I'm going to go be alone for a while. Like, that doesn't happen. Women are too terrified of loneliness for that. Like, they always need some kind of a steady source of validation and attention and shit like that. So they're going to find themselves in some other relationship, one way or the other. If they can manage, if they can, have any say in it, they'll find a way to smoothly transition from weak man to a stronger man that they feel safer with, that they also think, they can build something with in their minds anyway. So that's how cheating works. If your girl cheats on you, figure out why she cheated on you. Is it because in her mind she could do better, or because in her mind you could do better? And then, depending on the situation, act from there. But regardless of the situation, make sure they pay a massive price before they come back. Massive price. This is where you get her to get a tattoo of your name and shit like that. Or whatever else you want, no matter what it is you want, Let's see. Jace, drop some more Bible game. Alright, why not? Jesus, Solomon, David. I don't know if someone else got game there. Several people had game in there. Several. Who would I say is a good example of someone? I think the greatest simp in the Bible has to be Boaz, right? I'll probably have to make a video about him later. Yeah, but Boaz had to be the biggest simp in the Bible. That man worked for how long? 10 years to marry one girl, and he worked under her father for 10 years to finally get married to her. So the man cheated him. His so-called father-in-law cheated him and gave him the wrong sister. And then he pretty much just used legality, like, oh, you said you would work for my daughter, you didn't say which one, type shit. And so instead of the motherfucker to take what little self-respect he has at this point and leave, because who the fuck wants to work for a bitch for 10 years or whatever the fuck it was, the man offers him, okay, fine, I'll give you the daughter you actually want if you work another 10 years. And guess what this motherfucker does? So yeah, there's game in the Bible, there's anti-game in the Bible, there's simping, there's stupid women in the Bible, there's intelligent women that know how to seduce men in the Bible. My favorite seduction story, by the way, in the Bible has to be Esther. I bring her up a lot. Esther ran game. Because if you really understand the context of what she had to do, how she went about doing it, how she pulled it off, it was damn near a miracle. But it's partly because she had amazing game with understanding what men are, how to use that information to her advantage, and how to use it to get what she wants. Very important story, that one, Esther. Esther's uncle was gonna get in trouble. Well, I have to explain, I guess, a lot of context with how the children of Israel were under colonial rule at the time, and they were second-class citizens, and was it Babylon at the time, I believe? I think it was Babylon. And Esther was one of the king's wives. Now, for context, again, one of the king's wives. Esther was one of probably hundreds of women, right? And you know how those go. Most of these women are probably only meeting the king in his chamber once every year type shit. Plus, there was a rule set in place that no one can just approach the king unannounced, or else they get beheaded if the king isn't pleased with their appearance. So, by the way, the whole reason she had to meet with the king was because her uncle, who, you know, again, second-class citizen in this country, Jewish man, blah, blah, he had gotten in trouble with one of the king's right-hand men, right? And that man was about to take some action to make that man's life miserable. Partly, it had something to do with the fact that he would not bow to this man. Esther's uncle would refuse to bow to this man because he believed in the one true God, blah, blah. But, I mean, not to dismiss that part, that's important. That shows courage in the face of adversity. But you get the point. Like, that's not the main point of the story while I'm telling the story. The main point is the entire thing came down to Esther's ability to convince the king to not let his right-hand man kill her uncle. But she didn't ever actually just ask the king that. Because one, again, to meet the king is suicide. Because if he doesn't want to see you there, like imagine you show up in the king's chambers, he's having an important war meeting. Who's that? One of my bitches? Man, off with that bitch's head. I don't want to see her, right? So she had to come up with a plan to make sure that, in the scripture it says, she found favor in the king's eyes. So guess what she does, right? Listen to this plan. It's very brilliant. First of all, she goes on a 7-day fast, right? You could say it's for spiritual reasons, and I definitely believe it was. She definitely prayed. I think she covered herself in sackcloth and dirt and prayed and bowed her head before God. The whole thing. Yes, it was a spiritual exercise. But I think even more than, I don't want to say even more than that, but I think just as important was the physical aspect of it. What happens when a woman goes on a fast for 7 days? She leans out. All right? So you can imagine how popping her cheekbones were, how much, accentuated her curves were, all that stuff. So she essentially went on like a 7-day challenge that these girls go on for like their diet fads. You know what I mean? Just to make them, just get herself leaned out, toned. Okay, that's the first thing. Second thing, after the 7-day fast, she went and cleaned up. So I'm talking, she took showers, like bathes, and baptized herself in like the land's most expensive perfumes, and did this and did that, like just kept herself nice, put lime and whatever the hell else, like all over her hair just to make it all smell good. And then here's another genius thing she did. She got her servants, because every queen has like their own servants and maids and stuff. She got her servants to also go through the same process she went through: the fasting, the purification, the beautification, all that stuff, and to prepare a massive banquet, massive feast full with the best foods, the best fruits, the best alcohol, right? The best everything. So she shows up to the queen's chamber, to the king's chamber unannounced. She's looking good on the motherfucker, right? Because she's dressed nice. Her curves are everything. Body is tea, as the girls on TikTok say. The king looks at her, and of course, she finds favor in his eyes, which is just a fancy biblical way of saying, bro was like, dang, I forgot about my bitch Esther. She was a bad bitch, wasn't she? Back in the day when I first got her? Oh yeah. Come on, girl, what's up? So Esther goes to the king and goes, my lord, here's another interesting part. She doesn't just go, my king, why does your right-hand man want to kill my uncle? No. This bitch smart. She plays the long game. All right, so what did she do? She goes, my king, I've missed you. You haven't come to see me in my chambers. So I've created a massive feast, a massive banquet for you and your men and all of your right-hand men and officials to come tonight. Come and drink and eat, and me and my servants and my maids will pamper you, will feed you, will fill you with wine, and we'll give you massages and bathes and stuff like that. And they're like, room full of bad bitches, feeding us, giving us wine. cleaning us up. Yeah, we're there. Hell yeah. White boys, hell yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god, my toothbrush. Everyone's in it, right? Like, oh fuck yeah, this is awesome. You see that? She didn't go to take. She went to give. If you want to collect something from someone, you must first think about things from their point of view and ask, what is of value to them? When I give them what they want, the law of reciprocity will do its thing and they will give me what I want. So her job was simple because, again, she understood men. I'm going to first entice him with the visual. Went and fasted for 7 days. Back in the day, they probably liked bitches with their ribs shown. You can see my ribs. My rib cage. You like that? Then, oh, you okay, buddy? My dog just woke up. He was sleeping. Come here, buddy. Come here. You chill right there. I see what you're trying to do. Yeah. Chill your ass out. He almost tried to jump on me. That would have been disastrous. But anyway, back to the story. So everyone's in. They all get everyone enticed, first with the visual, then with sense and all that stuff. Because they all came in and, smelling nice, looking nice, blah, blah. Nighttime comes, the party's on. Everyone's eating, everyone's drinking, everyone's having fun. It's lit up in here. The king and his boys are getting fed and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Esther eventually isolates her target, which is exactly what I keep teaching you guys. When you meet a girl and her friends, talk to all of them. Talk to the friends, blah, blah, parlay, blah, blah. Then get your target and go, hey, mind if I talk to her real quick? Fine. Boom. Isolate your target. So Esther finally goes to her chambers with the king. The Bible kind of glazes over this part, but I promise you, I wasn't there, but I promise you this is where she does her things. There's the Gluck 3000, the this and that, the backflip into the mount position, this style, that style. I believe it was around that time the Kama Sutra was being invented. I'm pretty sure. Whatever. She does her thing. King is spent. So really imagine where this guy is at psychologically. Belly full. Mind hazed because he's kind of drunk, balls empty. Perfect combination to persuade a motherfucker, right? Perfect. I don't care who you are, I don't care how disciplined you are. Someone gets you in that particular situation, you're tipsy, you're well fed, balls are empty, you're susceptible, you're vulnerable. Esther knew this. So Esther goes, hey, my king, what's going on? There's another thing she did. She starts crying. She lets the waterworks on, right? A woman crying, tears. Again, you see your bitch that just made you happy. She's crying. Again, this is the same woman that's just responsible for you being tipsy, stomach full, balls empty. And that girl is now crying. Emotional rise. You're like, oh, what's going on, babe? What's wrong? She goes, why do you want to kill me? And then he goes, what do you mean? What? Who wants to kill you or anyone that belongs to you, anyone that's related to you? Yeah, but someone wants to bring shame and be the end of my family. And what? Hey, who? In my kingdom, my queen, you point the motherfucker and they're dead by sunrise. They're dead. Esther goes, well, is that dude that's your right-hand man? Oh, him? Well, I did just tell you they're gone by sunrise, so hey, I guess off with his head. And that's game, ladies and gentlemen. That's game. That is the best example of how women run game on men. And it's all in the Bible. It's right there, the book of Esther, if you want to go read it yourself. Go and read the entire book of Esther. It's very fun. Very fun. So yeah, that's literally how it happened. And what was her uncle's name? Mordecai, I believe, was his name. Mordecai. And yeah, that's the story. I'll probably have to make a video about that later. That's a fun story. Unique way of explaining the Bible, Jace. Thanks. No problem, man. The Bible is a fun book, bro. I promise you. I hate when people try to make it sound like it's this giant formal business letter. It really isn't. It's actual people having actual stories the way you and I do on a daily basis. They try to cloud it in these complex languages and syntax, but I promise you, These people took shits, ate, and farted, just like we do. Okay. Shout out to Queen Esther though. She did her big one, as they say on TikTok. Let's see. Now I asked her to cook for me. She was thinking about it. Okay, that's good. Tell her to say, I'm a lying piece of ish, daddy. Say it again. No, that will be one of the things you ask her to do. If a girl cheats on you and comes back, that's just one of the things. Like, you got to ask her to do 30 different things, and that's going to be the first one. First that one, then do that again on video, then do that again while naked on video with Sharpie marker on her stomach that goes, I belong to so-and-so. So-and-so being your name, right? Like, you gotta be creative, but you gotta get a lot out of her, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if she wants back into the kingdom, she gotta pay the price at the gate type shit, you know what I mean? So that's how you want to see it. Always make sure they pay a massive price to come back. Very important. Very, very important. Hold on, TikTok is asking me if I'm real. Yes I am. Oh my God. There we go. Yay. In digital pre-selection, you go into detail about how the Hinge algorithm works. Zeph changed up my profile. Now the app sends me a lot of 8s and 10s, getting matches with mostly 8s. Congratulations. If you're getting matches, like, by the way, great problem to have and great problem to solve. So that means you've gone from level 3 to level 4. Congratulations. Now you got to figure out how to go from level 4 to level 5. Right? Or actually, no, you've gone from kind of partly end of level 2 into level 3, middle of level 3. Now I got to go from level 3 to level 4. But yeah, congratulations. If you're finding yourself getting mostly 8s and then the occasional 10, then you probably still have to make some certain tweaks to your profile. Specifically your prompts. And I wouldn't say your pictures need any work, because if you can get the 8s and the 10s by now, you're fine. It's the same pictures that'll work all the time. You just gotta do some tweaking to your prompts and your bio. Oh, you're on Hinge, so you can use voice notes. So use the voice notes to your advantage. All right, very important. Let's see. Wait, was that profile pic thing? Oh no, not for you, but you talk about liking girls that are more prone to liking you. How do I get the 10s in categories? You got to do some field research for a while. So you're in a position now where you're getting a lot of 8s and the occasional 10. I would say stay in there in that pocket for a while just to see what actually works for you into the back end. Because out of all those 8s, you'll begin to realize that even most of those will fall off. Like, they won't all go all the way into like the funnel you've created. But you'll notice a pattern between the ones that actually make it into the funnel and go far with you. The ones that see you on dates, the ones that, you know, sleep with you, end up having like a relationship with you, whatever. Even if it's like a friends with benefits type thing, whatever. You'll see patterns there. And then when you figure out what those patterns are from real life, you can now take that information and go and use that to tweak your profile. Because now you can ask for those things specifically, and that's how you get more of that. Does that make sense? Like, I'll have something weird in my bio that'll say something like Pilates girls only. Why do I have something like that in my profile? Because I know, well, for one, those are the girls I'm usually attracted to. She's doing Pilates. She's a bad bitch, right? Only bad bitches do Pilates, right? Like, it's almost like regular girl proof, because regular girls won't start with Pilates usually. If they, like, talking about the regular girls that want to become bad bitches, even they won't start with Pilates usually. They'll start with something else, like yoga, whatever. But then on top of that, it's also like a subtle signal that there's a certain type of girl that I do well with, because what kind of guy knows what Pilates is? Black guy especially. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all these like subtle little signals that you're gonna have to figure out in person and then translate into your profile. But again, for those of you that don't know all this information, or like you're lost a little bit, go get digital pre-selection, link in bio. Why do men that genuinely love you cheat on you? I know he regrets it, but I left him because. He only regrets it because you left him. He doesn't really regret the cheating, to be honest. We're built to cheat, or what you call cheating. Cheating isn't real, I'm telling you guys. As far as evolutionary psychology is concerned, what we call cheating is not real. It's just another evolutionary strategy we employ to achieve the perfect balance of survival and replication to meet our biological imperatives. And for men, the best way to go about doing that is to, quite literally increase the number of partners you have, because that increases your chances of passing your genes on to the next generation. As opposed to like laying on all your eggs in one basket. That's a very risky strategy as a man. Like very risky, like so risky, especially in 2024. You probably shouldn't do that. Are you encouraging men to cheat? Yes, I am. Because it's like how many stories, how many nightmare stories have you seen on the internet of men being like, we were together 40 years. I just found out our 3 kids don't belong to me. DNA test. You don't want that to be you, do you? Okay, cool. Lay your eggs in more than one basket. But yeah, ultimately, that's all cheating is. Cheating is not, it's just another strategy our organism has evolved to employ if we're in the right kind of situation to employ it, right? Now, on a relationship level, why does he regret cheating on you? Because you left. Because the consequences of him cheating was you leaving. And I guess in his situation, he wasn't prepared to take that loss. And I guess lucky you. If you're dealing with a guy like me, I'd always be prepared to take that loss. I don't give a fuck. I will always choose my freedom and my ability to generate options over any one girl. That's just me personally. Probably don't date a guy like me. We're crazy. But yeah, if that guy ends up running into a guy like me and I teach him what I know, he'll very quickly see why crying over you is a waste of his time. As far as the game goes, anyway. Like the mathematical principles of it, it doesn't make sense for him to be worried about, oh my God, she left me because I cheated. So what? You cheated. That means you can generate other options. Go generate other options. That's what it means. What's considered a massive price after cheating? Anything that she doesn't want to do, specifically. That is the simplest way I can define it. If she doesn't want to do it, that's what she has to do. It's really that simple. Massive sacrifice. Massive pain she has to go through. Massive pain she has to tolerate. Massive resistance she has to cross through. A massive gift she has to give that she can't or necessarily shouldn't give. That's what you have to ask for. Today we're going to work again, but I said that I'm not working on the schedule. Okay. How do you make her seek your validation, though? Literally everything I've been telling you guys about. What do you think I talk about when I talk about psychological positioning? When I talk about creating tension between you and her? All those things are designed to make her seek. Like the reason, let me put it like this: the reason women seek validation is twofold. One, they are a validation-driven creature. They're always seeking validation. It is in their nature. It's like how dogs are always food motivated. They're always seeking validation. Now, what determines what makes her want your validation specifically is the value of it. How does your validation make her feel in her mind? Does getting your validation somehow mean more to her than getting some other guy's validation? That's what will increase or reduce her sense of urgency around you. So so the real question you're really asking is, how do you increase the value of your validation in her eyes? And it's very simple. First principle, don't fucking give it away too soon. The reason every other guy out there, their validation doesn't mean as much to women as it should is because they're willing to give it freely, right? The simp epidemic. That's the first principle. The second is you give her your validation of any kind, whether it's your time, your attention, whatever, when she's giving you some kind of compliance first. So you create a transactional base there where she knows on a subconscious level that the only way she gets something out of you is to give to you first. That's where tension comes in. Tension is really just the anxiety you create in her so that she feels the need to do something for you to relieve herself of that anxiety. So you're essentially using tension the way a bank robber uses a gun, right? That's the motivation right there. Like, do something, give me what I want, or else. That's what tension is. That's how you get them to give you validation, or to seek your validation rather, and give you validation in return. Because A big part of them seeking your validation is them trying to bribe you with theirs. So she will be surprised, happy to see me, but act mad. Sure, I guess. I will do the same thing, be strict. What did I say yesterday? And see the fear in her eyes. Oh, I see. Or her acting like you aren't special. But her being mad because me talking to other coworkers was crazy in my mind. I mean, yeah, when women like you, they become a little possessive. That's part of it. Can't be too surprised. Oh, but she has a boyfriend, so she likes you more than the boyfriend, so your validation is more important. She's always going to be jealous when she finds out someone else is getting it. Fight is about to start. Oh, is it the actual fight or the undercards? Or the fight itself? I'm very curious. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let me know. If you were a female dating coach, what would you be teaching women? Shit they don't want to hear. I'll be doing the exact same thing with men as I do with women, which would make me very unpopular with women, right? The reason I teach men what I teach men is because men can handle it. I think the main fight is at 10. Well, it depends. If they can go through all the undercards quick enough, sure, at 10. If there's no knockouts or anything like that, it might get up to midnight, you know. But yeah, women are interesting because women want to be lied to. Women will give their... I mean, that's not fair to say to just women. I think to some degree, like a lot of people, the majority of people want to be lied to. And they will give their time, attention, and money towards things and people that will affirm to them what they already believe, even though that belief is fundamentally false. That is the thing. Like, that is what... And women embody that more than men do, on average. So, the actual thing women need to learn, they almost never will because it's hard. It's difficult to come to terms with those things. Just like for men, by the way. Like, coming to terms with the things you need to learn to be able to be successful with women in relationships, it's hard, you know? It's not always pleasant shit. Like learning you probably should never take women seriously when they speak. That's a massive adjustment in your behavior and thinking. To realize that for the rest of your life, you should never take what a woman says seriously. That's a very difficult thing to come to terms with. And that's one of the lighter things too. Like it's not even that big a deal as far as the other things go, right? It's the same thing for women. Like imagine me telling women, you just have to accept the fact that your man is always going to have other women in his life. Even if he tells you he doesn't, you're the only one, he's exclusive, he's going to fuck another girl. A woman's natural inclination is to find a way to fight that and come up with, really not even come up with, but use whatever excuse they've been told by other women in society to just combat that information. No, that's not true. Those men are dogs. You're not talking about all men. It's all of them. It's all of us. We're all going to fuck some other bitch. You just got to figure out what side you want to be on. Because there's two kinds of men. There's the men like me who are honest about it because we have options. Like, I say the truth to women because I don't have to lie to anybody. Oh, so you just tell these girls you're dating other... Yes. All my girls, damn near some of them know each other and are best friends. Like, duh. I don't need to lie. I can... If any girl comes and goes, how dare you? I can just get rid of them and get another one. That's part of why I'm so honest, is that I have that abundance. Now, the vast majority of other men, though, the other kind of men, they don't have abundance. So they have to lie. All right? They have to tell the girl, you're the only one. Lying through their teeth. Because they don't have the ability to replace it well. So they have to live this lie. They have to put themselves in this prison. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But if that man were to find an opportunity to get another girl, he would. If that opportunity fell on his lap, he will take it. He will take it. So I always tell women, you got to choose what you want. You want a man that tells you the truth, that hurts, or that lies to you and makes you look stupid later on down the line behind your back. You figure it out. I've noticed that women block you sometimes because they want to renegotiate the terms. Every time a woman pulls away, that's what she's trying to do. They block you, they ignore you, they pull away, they withhold sex. Like, withholding sex is a big one for those of you in relationships. The girl's like, oh no, not tonight, I'm bloated, and it just goes on and on and on and on. That's their way of punishing you and trying to negotiate the power imbalance. All you gotta do is exactly what I keep trying to tell you guys. Let them know that that power, that form of leverage that you're trying to have over you doesn't work. By doing what? Using your actions, your behavior to show them that it doesn't have any power over you. So that's why I always tell you, go fuck another bitch. Like, oh, I want to keep... You're not going to get any sex from me. You're right. Not from you. But there's all these other bitches that will fuck me. You know what I'm saying? That's how it has to be. Or else you end up in a sexist marriage like all these other guys. Like that's why they're in those sexist marriages. Because they told their wives, there's no one else. And now the bitch thinks she has the audacity to misbehave and not give up pussy because she knows she can get away with it. You think any of my girls think they can get away with withholding sex from me? Come on. The abundance mindset sounds like a crutch, and that type of thinking spreads to other areas. The abundance mindset sounds like a crutch. Like a crutch how? The abundance mindset isn't bad at all. Not bad at all. It's not, I mean, you got to start somewhere. If you don't have any abundance, how are you going to create it without understanding that you're okay with having abundance in your life? With that said, you also shouldn't be attached to, like, it's not the abundance or the mindset that's the issue. The issue is that people get attached to it, which I guess you're right when you say, you know, it's a crutch to some people. If people are using it like a crutch, then yeah, it's very bad. You know, like you shouldn't be attached to it. Hey buddy, you okay? You shouldn't be attached to it. The moment you become attached to anything, it can be used against you. You feel me? Oh, okay, that's good. Let's see. Thanks, Giselle. Will improve an imprint. Yeah. I love you, no Diddy. I love you too, AMG. But I know what's going on. Oh, okay. She left my side, didn't beg her to stay. She's also talking to other guys. No reaction from me. Good. We broke up because she said I didn't give her attention. Oh, perfect. That's a great reason to break up. Perfect reason to break up. Because that means you're still that guy. She's looking for someone weaker that'll have the time to give her all the attention she wants. That's a great reason to have a girl break up with you, by the way. In case you don't really know. Let me really explain that. You want a girl to leave you because she thinks that she's not much of a priority. It's easier to get that girl back and to create a relationship dynamic that works in your favor with that particular situation, as opposed to a girl that leaves you because she feels like you give her too much attention. Does that make sense? Hope it does. How you doing, Zay? Endgame advice, is it just validating them correctly? Endgame advice? Like, you're talking about back end game? It's not just validating them correctly. That's a part of it. It's finding that balance between validation and competition. That's the real, that's where a lot of guys go wrong. Say hi, buddy. That's where a lot of guys go wrong is, you have to but you have to really balance out your behaviors. You have to make her feel like she is both important and unimportant. That's the balance. All right, buddy, you're done enough. I love you, but I'm busy. Mwah. Go away. I'm the highest imprint, although I did show too much weakness and she's with another guy. What's my next best move to get her back? Just game and boost my status. I hope you're reading it correctly, though. You have to be reading it correctly. If you're jumping from one behavior strong to another behavior weak too quickly without any reason, you're going to begin to look like the fox, and she's not going to trust that your transformation is real. And you never want to be that guy in a woman's head. You never want to be the guy that she doesn't trust in that way. You claimed in a really old video how scarcity, acceptance over abundance mindset, and one of your reasons. Oh, absolutely. I remember that video too. One of my most important videos, actually. But again, for the average person that's just starting out, abundance mindset might have to be like a really good first step. Does that make sense? Again, neither of these things are bad. I just said scarcity acceptance is better because it's better for not attaching yourself to abundance, which is the entire point of that video. I don't want people going so far into abundance mindset that they begin to use it as a cope. That's where it gets dangerous. Does that make sense? Let's see. Next bit. She says that her current boyfriend gives her a lot of attention, but she doesn't feel the same. Just game. Oh, I see. I'm reading someone else's. But yeah, that makes sense. That's her translation. He gives her what you're not giving her, but she's not as attracted to him, which is good. That's good. Buddy, you're gonna mess everything up. Come on. Go this way. No. You're gonna mess everything up. There we go. There we are. So she gave him everything he wanted. Is that just all women's game? Yeah, in a way, really. But doing it intelligently though. It was giving him everything and then intelligently asking for some kind of compliance in return. That's what women's game is in general. How often do you break up with one of your girls due to logistics or because they simply get out-competed? Out-competition, I don't think I have that problem anymore because I get like really high-quality girls to begin with. That solves that problem. But logistics, from time to time, that doesn't happen often either. If I break up with a girl now, it's either because she did something to piss me off, or she's just, not as useful to me anymore for whatever reason. Maybe I'm just bored of her, whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's rarely ever the case. It's just, logistics. Because if the girl loves me, she'll find a way to make the logistics work out in my favor. I don't really worry about that shit. If my girl left me due to high tension to a provider, is a higher probability she'll try to come back. It's not okay, you became a provider after she left. So if anything, you killed your chances. Again, it's like you're going from one to another too quickly. She's gonna lose trust in you. There we go. Sorry about that, buddy. She's gonna lose trust in you. And I don't want to be her boyfriend, just side dude. Should I stay the same? If you don't want to be dude, you're wasting your time being anyone's side dude. Honestly, because that means you don't like her. Why are you fucking with a girl you don't like? No guy stays in the position like that unless they actually don't really like the girl. So don't waste your own time. You know what I mean? Let's see. My last moves were weak and needy. I already read that one. What to do if my girl says she doesn't trust me and can't let go of the past, which is why she doesn't want to convert to my religion or marry me? Those are just excuses, first of all. Second of all, if she doesn't trust you, that means you've been acting untrustworthy. Again, you've probably jumped from one to the other too quickly, and she can't trust that. No woman can. I was toxic and straight evil for 6 years now. I'm safer and accommodating. She left to another guy, went on a honeymoon phase, and does game harder after it. More flaw. I have no idea what that means. I don't think you worded that correctly. Reword that for me. Yeah, I'm continuing to tweak and experiment, but yeah, voice note, I'm good at taking, I'm good at talking. Good point. Yeah, good. Where did the teaching in Christianity that monogamy was the norm come from? I have no idea, but I just made a video talking about that very thing called Make Guarding 101. Go and figure out why people use religion as a way to essentially stop you from trying to fuck their wives. That's really it. It all comes down to evolutionary psychology at the end of the day. And if people have to put words in God's mouth to do it, they'll do it. They'll do it, Let's see. It expedites the process. Solid, indeed. The girls only pull away when you're needy to test you or just casually, even when not needy. They can pull away for either reason, but most of the time, it's because you're needy. Most of the time. Hey, what's going on, Dimitri? What are ways we can use tension to our advantage? You have to first learn how to use tension to begin with, because the answer to that question is get compliance. That's really the answer. Like, the best way to use tension is to get compliance. There's really nothing else for in terms of like using tension. But first, learn how to use tension. Top reasons when women will leave or cheat is it only when she thinks she can do better. I just explained that entire thing. It's either when she thinks she can do better or when she thinks you can. I've noticed I already read that one. Usually do okay with girls in my social circle, but on cold approach, I find it hard to flip the dynamic and make the girl chase. That's because you keep saying things that make you're presenting yourself as the chaser with your words. It's not hard. Like, it takes one sentence to literally change the dynamic. Literally one. It's not hard at all. You look at the girl and you go, you know what? I don't know why I thought you'd be more interesting than this. Anyway, what was your name again? Literally say that in that order. See what happens. I've listened to these lives enough to know your mods by name. Where's Fish Army? LOL. Right? Where is Fish Army? That's a good ass question. I mean, it's pretty late right there where he's at. So I guess it's like 4 a.m. where he's at. So he's probably asleep. Thoughts on sending and receiving explicit photos and videos. I prefer to do my dirty in person. My honest to God thoughts. Like, I'm the guy that when I receive those kind of things, I go, that's cute, but I'd rather see it in person. Just keep it tight for me till I see you later. That's how I think about it. You know, you gotta, those are small fish. You gotta hold out for the big ones. You gotta reel in the big sharks, you know? Because I feel that you have to display a lot of interest from the get-go. Huh? Display a lot of interest? No, you don't. I mean, that's why you have a hard time flipping the dynamic. If anything, you're supposed to display not as much interest at all from the get-go. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot if you're displaying a lot of interest from the jump. Because now she knows you value her, which kind of kills game. The whole point of game is getting her to value you. You know? I already read that one. I'm so out and about, but is there anything I should know to get back in the game? Where were you? Were you in like a relationship or something? Is that what happened? To pull away from a girl is... I already read that one. Does respect and attraction go hand in hand? Yes. Is the fox unattractive or just untrustworthy? To get to the wolf, just need more trust if that's her complaint. Yes, pretty much. And yes, you can think of the trust as unattractive, right? You really can. Like, is there a chance there might be attraction there? Yes, but it's not high enough for her to get past her own, emotional objections. So you might as well deem it as unattractive. You know? I want to have a bad moment with her. No talking, no text. So for days she feels bad. She thinks about me. That works, sure. What does that mean? Oh, what were you talking about? Oh, that's lingo from one of my courses. Don't worry about it. That's from my sciences breakup course. Don't worry about it. Let's see. I already read that one. Don't trust me. I already read that one. So Ulta Beauty, Whole Foods, Target, all spots I target when I have the convenience for the game. Me too. Great places. You watching Paul versus Tyson? Yes. Has it started yet? Hold on. I'm gonna know that. Has it started yet? Someone tell me in the comments if it started yet so I can move to my TV. I'm trying to find a place where I can work at my computer and there's baddies. Any suggestions? More spots. Starbucks or the public library. Well, there's going to be more baddies in the Starbucks, though. So it's probably Starbucks. Go to Starbucks. or Dunkin' Donuts. You know, that works too. But yeah, Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Who told him that? Yeah, you can show interest too quick. Yeah, you can't show. There we go. Yeah, you can't show interest. I don't know who told him that. That's terrible advice. It's almost like the person went out of their way to tell you to do something bad on purpose. You're not supposed to show interest to begin with. Like, the moment you show interest, you indicate that you're a potential suitor, which immediately makes her bring up all her anti-slut defenses. The idea is to bypass them by not triggering them to begin with. So that's bad advice. No, not yet? Oh, okay, good. Way worse than me. She's just teasing me. Teasing you about what? I don't know what we're talking about. Not even a minor dangler, but a huge one. But he gives her a lot of attention and validation, which I didn't. You think they'll last long? Oh no, they can last very long. That's the beauty of it. When women get scarred by the guy that imprinted them, and they have to go find a guy that's like the exact opposite, some soft boy that, you know, gives her all the attention that she claims she needed. You might think, oh, that won't last long because clearly she's not attracted to that guy, and she knows she's not attracted to that guy. Not in the same way she was with the last guy. But they'll stay in that situation for long periods of time. Why? Because at least they feel comfortable. Right? They feel comfortable. They don't feel safe. They don't feel protected. But they feel comfortable. And a lot of women, for them, the pain of going through another protector type, a.k.a. the bad boy, that pain is so frightening that they'd rather just stay in the shell of, you know, they're goody little two shoes boy. They're the goody little Boy Scouts. They're provider type, and you can't blame them. That's just a self-esteem issue. You really can't blame them. There's I'm going to sleep. It's 3 a.m. here. Hey, good night, man. No problem. You're welcome. Let's see. It's on the second fight. Okay, that's good. I have a hard time asking compliance test ideas generally if I don't have environment to help. Any tips? Compliance can be anything. Ask her to give you anything, whether it's information or an object or emotions, and you're asking for compliance. If you need specific examples, you're going to have to give me specific situations you want to work in. By the way, I finished 3 out of the 5 courses in the interview. Congratulations. You should be going through each one multiple times. What can I do to sabotage them? That kind of thinking is what will make them last longer. You can't sabotage them. Don't worry about it. You're trying to control things you don't need to control. It's not your business. Like, again, you're focused on the wrong thing. Their relationship isn't what's making her not come back to you. You are. If you were to just start acting right, she would very quickly leave that relationship. The relationship is not the obstacle you think it is. You are. Right? So don't put your energy into doing things that you think will work that won't. Just won't. The Esther breakdown was dope. I'm still getting acquainted with all the books for some reason. Hey, take your time. The Bible is 66 books, baby. It's a library. I keep telling people the Bible is not a book. It's a library. It's a library of 66 books. It's a collection of books. All right? So take your time. Each book requires its own attention. So pay attention. How good is your self-belief course? Let's talk about it. What is it about? I don't know, you can just go get it. You don't have to. It's free. Like, do you want me to break it down for you? It's free. Go check it out. It's literally free to register for. It's all about delusional confidence. Confidence based on no fundamental basis, because the belief is simple. If you need a reason for your confidence is weak. Right? If you need a reason for your confidence is weak, because what happens when that pillar that holds up your confidence is taken away from you? If your confidence is in material things, one day the universe will test you by taking away those material things. Then what? If your confidence is in a certain aspect or attribute that you hold, what happens when that thing is tampered with or taken away? Then what? You must learn how to have confidence in yourself because That's what the course is about. So go get it. It's literally free. Like, literally free. Like, it's not even $1. It's not even 50 cents. Like, $0. Let's see. I would watch the videos and be like, damn, I've never thought of that, but this makes sense. Type shit. That's what the entire course, the interview is about. Like, now the interview, that's a paid course. And there's a reason, well, a paid course, it's really fucking 5 courses at the same time. It's a bundle. It's my flagship. But, you know, now that we can talk about for years. Quite literally years, because there's a lot of fucking concepts to go over. A lot of things. I've been compelled to figure out who's Joshua. Who's Joshua was like, I'm hearing it in my head. Joshua, like the Joshua in the Bible. If you have time to talk about Joshua fully welcomed, I'll still go read it. Joshua was an amazing leader. What made Joshua interesting was that he had a very different leading style than Moses. And that's important because Moses was the previous leader of the children of Israel before Joshua came into the picture. Right? And Joshua was a very no-nonsense type of guy. He was very much all about discipline and execution. And it shows in the way he led the children of Israel into a city that they conquered. I mean, as far as miracles, that's the one Joshua is known for the most, right? That one where God told them they were going to take over a city. They were to march around the city walls 7 times on the for 7 days. On the 7th day, 7 times, and then scream and shout God's name at the walls, and the walls came down, right? But yeah, Joshua was interesting. Joshua was interesting because he had a very no-nonsense approach to everything. Yeah, we could talk about Joshua. I'll probably have to make a video about Joshua later too. Probably make the Esther one first though. Probably make the Esther one first. Let's see. Oh, how can I pull back then? If I can sabotage her, just be better. Just be better. Be better. Being honest with you, God Pill, you don't even realize it, but your biggest problem is just your lack of emotional control. If you can fix that, she will smell such goodness in you. And the problem is, it's not just your lack of emotional control. I think the emotional control part you can fix easily. The problem is, you're still looking at it like there's some kind of trick to it. Like, oh, I'm just going to bypass this and make her see this. And it's a relationship. It's a relationship. She's going to figure out who you are at some point. And she did. She had enough time with you to be like, oh yeah, this guy, don't feel safe around him. I do not. He doesn't have my best interest in mind. So you can pretend for a short period of time like you do and draw her back in. But at some point she's going to find out again, oh yeah, that's why I left him the first time. Does that make sense? You have to actually be someone she can feel safe around. And again, easiest thing in the world. Just work on your emotional self-control. You still have a lot of weirdly strong and misdirected emotions towards women. You got to deal with that. You have to deal with that. You have to learn what women are, appreciate them for what they are, including their flaws. Dude, I'm telling you guys, women are not bad or good. They have the capacity for both. Appreciate women for what they are, and then when you have a real appreciation for them, you can claim to love them for real. You do. True, I did keep punishing her with cheating every time she annoyed me. Exactly, see? Like, that's what a child would do. You can't be a kid anymore, dude. Can't be a kid anymore. Gotta be a man, gotta be an adult. And you punish the wrong person. It's never your fault. You see, it's amazing how we are as men, right? We blame women for all these things. They're emotional. They never take personal accountability. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we do that more than they do. Men don't take accountability for shit. That is the source of all our problems, right? So, you gotta just look inwards. You gotta look inwards and be like, okay, she clearly doesn't want anything to do with me. Why? It's a hard question to ask yourself, honestly, right? Very hard question. Like, to look at yourself and be like, this girl I want doesn't fucking want anything to do with me. Why? Let me see things from her point of view. Why would she not want anything to do with me? And if you're being honest with yourself, you can see the fucking reasons and be like, oh yeah, Yeah, that makes sense. That's why. And I wouldn't want anything to do with me either if I were her. In fact, I love her more now because she's a smart girl for wanting nothing to do with me. If you're being honest with yourself, though. Right? So, yeah. That's really the, the solution. I read like 14 chapters of Proverbs book. I didn't find much help. It kept repeating a few things. Read it again. Likewise, people are one way, fall the other way about adulterous and wicked tongue. I thought there's something bigger than common sense. That's why Proverbs is so dope, in my opinion, is that it is common sense. And you'd be surprised how quickly you forget common sense when you're in a state of like anxiety and survival. One of the harshest lessons I've ever learned in my life is the fact that how smart you are doesn't save you when you forget how to apply your intelligence, aka when you get emotional, right? You can be the smartest man in the world. When you're blinded by emotion, all that intelligence means nothing. It's like having the biggest gun, but it stays holstered because you're too busy freaking out. You forget how to unholster your weapon and remove the safety. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, this is why Proverbs is important in my opinion. You will be very surprised one day, and this has happened to me multiple times. You'll be like, oh, I've read Proverbs many times. And then you'll go through a situation, you'll come out the other side, you'll survive and come out the other side, but you'll look back and be like, I didn't make the right decisions when I was in that situation. Then you go read the book of Proverbs and be like, damn, I've read this book multiple times. How did I forget to apply this very common sense advice here in the situation I was just in a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago? Why did I forget? Right? So that's why Proverbs is important. Go read it. Go read it. Go read it. They have a course on manipulation. Absolutely. But it's not a course. It's a video on YouTube. It's called Manipulation 101. Literally. I'm not even kidding. Go on my YouTube, Jace the Pickup Scientist. Type in manipulation. Actually, the laws of manipulation. I think that's what it's called. It's either the laws or the principles of manipulation. One of those. But type that in. You see the video. It's an entire set list of manipulation. Yeah, it used to be a series on TikTok, funny enough, but I stopped plugging it and I just put it for free on YouTube, so go watch it there. Let's see. For so many superhero characters, I'm waiting for Marvel to do some shit where someone kills 1,000 Philistines. They've already done that. Damn near every Marvel character is some kind of Bible ripoff, right? Damn near all of them. Damn near every superhero is a Bible ripoff, to be honest. I mean, starting with Superman. Superman is just Jesus with extra steps. Literally. How do you game your friends, pause, and bosses and teachers and like everyone? Understanding social dynamics, and the first principle of it is understanding that in order to interact with people correctly, you must first see things from their point of view and then begin to work towards giving them the value that they want so that they can give you the value that you want. So whenever you talk to people, you must always be thinking about their self-interest primarily. That is how you game people. You game people by speaking their language. That's how it works. Well, you get better at it over time anyway. Let's see. I'm waiting for a Marvel. I already read that one. She saved my life at least 4 times. I unfollowed every chick on Insta and deleted my whole Snap to get her trust back. But now she's with a new guy who's giving her full comfort. Well, you did everything incorrectly, by the way. Let's address that too. You don't make a woman trust you more by changing your behavior to accommodate her emotions. That's the wrong way to go about it. If anything, you make her trust you less when you do that. You just unfollowed every girl that she knows you were following on Insta or on Snap or whatever because you felt like you wanted to. Because it was truly a part of how you functioned. You were a guy that talks to multiple girls. And now you're willing to throw all that at the drop of a hat to appease her emotions? That makes you look weak. And she knows that makes you look weak. That's the beauty of women. They test you, then they get disappointed when you fall for it. You just told her, oh yeah, I will change whatever thing about me to not feel emotionally anxious anymore. Which makes you look weak. It makes you look like you have a very low tolerance for emotional pain. Alright? She'll be back, don't worry. Oh, that's true. She will be back. Give her time. Was trying to balance and compensate. Yeah, and you overcompensated in the wrong way. You did it incorrectly. Yeah, having no control of your emotions won't get a man anywhere. Exactly. It won't. I think it was Jordan Peterson that said the most dangerous men are the weak men. I said, listen, if there's one thing Jordan has ever said that I agree with so strongly, it's probably that. That and like clean your room, obviously. But for sure, the weakest men are the most dangerous because it's like giving a baby a gun. It'll hurt everyone and itself. Right? It's a terrible thing. Weak men are dangerous. He should have admitted that he's a cheater and he just likes having other girls. Literally. See? Dimitri gets it. Like, just say that. As opposed to, but you couldn't do that because you were weak. You couldn't do that because you were like, I don't want to lose her. I'm going to do what she wants so she doesn't leave. Running helter-skelter to appease her and her emotions. And that in itself is what made her go, ew. He'll do all those things for me? Gross. I thought he was a grown man that does what he wants. Ew. So she left. See, that's why you're the fox now. Now I'm very sure you're the fox. Because how can she trust that? She can't trust that. Oh, today I'm a big bad guy. I'm talking to all these girls on Insta and Snapchat. Oh no, but tomorrow I'm just gonna like throw them away to make you happy. Like, ew. How would you feel if some kind of a person and a leader or authority figure over you behaved like that? Like, imagine going to work and your boss is like, okay, team, today we're doing project A because this is what we stand for in this company. Despite all the things that are gonna happen and, you know, people think we're doing something unethical. This is what we believe in for the greater good. We got to do this. And then the next day, there's a riot outside the building. And the boss is like, no, wait, guys, we have to make sure the riot stops. We have to make sure the riot goes away. We can't go on with this project anymore. Little bitch. Would you ride into battle with that general? The general that goes, okay, team, let's attack the enemy from the left flank. And then you meet resistance at the left flank. No, retreat! You can't go to war with that motherfucker. Come on. Never be wishy-washy like that. That's why all these political pundits on the internet don't get it. Why no one trusts them. Why they can't, no matter how many followers they get. I was talking to someone about this very recently. No matter how many followers they get, they can't monetize their audience. Oh, millions of followers. No one trusts you. Because we've seen you do fucking 20 apology videos in one day. No one fucking trusts you. Anyway, she can't even enjoy the weekend anime without being reminded of me, so I think she'll be back. She'll be back when she gets bored from comfort and thinks maybe I have truly changed. Well, that's if you've truly changed. Let's see. She'll always like checking on you and be back in that way, but will she stay? That'll depend on you. Foreign gods type shit. Will she want to come back faster if she sees me winning with other girls online, increasing my value, or I just straight have to be a good, trustworthy guy? Exactly. You have to be a good, trustworthy guy. If pre-selection was your problem, it wouldn't have been the reason she left to begin with. Does that make sense? Like, you already had an abundance of pre-selection by that point, and she still backed away. So chill out. Please put this on YouTube, Jace. Get me to 10,000 likes, then maybe. 10,000 likes, then maybe. How do you get around that? Get around what, my friend? Let me know. How do I get on the group call? Gotta explore more on the app with the interview. Links in bio, guys. If you want to join my private community, link in bio. How do you suppose I compensate from her? Now, you just did what with all your hoes? Oh, you got rid of them? Is that what you're saying? Also, compensate from her. I don't get what are we asking here? I'm not sure you're using that word correctly. Had a realization, women collectively created the archetype of the simp to know who not to respect. That's a good way to put it. Did women themselves create the simp, or did men create the simp? Men, okay, all right. I think men labeled the simp. Men are the ones that went, those guys over there, they're simps. Now, we didn't even always call them simps. Back in the day, like the old school pickup artists I learned from, they were calling them chodes. That was the word. It went from chodes to blue pilled. That was the thing for a while. Blue pilled resurfaced again with, the fresh and fit era. Then simps just became like a standard one for like the last, I want to say, 8 years, maybe 7 to 8 years. So yeah, I would say simps is where we're at right now. I'm pretty sure there'll be another word for them. There's always a new word for men who will bend at the knee for women. All right, men who will change and adjust their identity to appease women and extract female validation in their minds. There'll always be words for that. But yeah, women definitely, I think women had a hand in creating them. Not consciously, by the way. A woman's job is to test your confidence and your identity in yourself. How firmly you stand in your identity. If a lot of you happen to fail that test, that's not a woman's fault. It really isn't. And besides, those tests are set up to find men like me, men who won't bend their will for women. That's what they're designed for. Like when they find out you're a simp, they don't keep going, oh, he's a simp. You just don't exist anymore. They ignore you. You're in the background now. Go fuck yourself. On to the next. You're not who I'm looking for. You're not what this is for. Right? Halloween just passed. Damn near every girl and her grandma was out with her titties and her ass out. All in the name of a costume. And there's two kinds of men. Men who were entrapped and enchanted by the spell of their half-naked bodies. And men like me who almost looked at them in disgust. Because at my stage, right, where I'm at with women, I genuinely find it repulsive. And I don't even like admitting this, honestly. But I genuinely find it repulsive when women are trying too hard for attention. Like, where's the finesse? I'm not to brag, but I'm a smart guy. If there's one thing us smart people like, we like to be tricked. You know what I mean? We like to not know what's going to happen next. We like to be surprised. Want to know why we like to be surprised? Because for us, life is one giant predictable game. So our source of entertainment is finding things that trick us, that misdirect us, right? That's why we like murder mysteries and fun game shows and board games and psychological thrillers and stuff like that. And I had that same kind of view on dating and game and just social dynamics in general. I like seeing people use subtly executed on tricks. I find that very fascinating, especially when women do it. When women do it correctly. This is why I like bougie bitches. I don't like bougie bitches because like their aesthetic. It's not even the aesthetic I really care about. Like the aesthetic is cool, but it's the fact that a bougie girl wants just as much male validation as the ratchet girl. The difference is the ratchet girl has no fucking finesse, right? The bougie chick, there's a je ne sais quoi to it. There's a way she goes about doing it that makes her look like she's not as desperate for that male attention, even though at the back of her mind, like if we're being honest and we can see in the back of her brain, she probably is. You see, and I appreciate that. I appreciate illusions like that. They're fun. So when I see a girl make such an obvious attempt at dragging as much male validation as possible. Like wear a Harley Quinn costume that's like a tenth of the actual material from the movie. It's like, ugh, do better. Ugh. I actually said that to one of those girls. I think she ended up like crying in the corner or something. Like, do better. Ugh, really? Ugh, do better. Like, trick me. Where's the finesse? Where's the gabagoo? Nah, but where's the finesse? Where's the savvy? You know, it's got to be skill to it. It's got to be a skill to it. If it just here's this thing, ugh, it's not fun. Not to mention, it destroys your status if you become the guy that wants to talk to that girl. Like, what do you look like if you're the guy that's like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to that girl that's half naked in the mummy costume that only covers her pussy and her tits? Wait till bro goes to an anime convention. Do not take me to an anime convention. Those girls will cry when I'm done with them. Don't. Ugh. Right? Okay, if they're doing it on like their stands because they want to sell something, I mean, even then, there's way more creative ways to go about selling something, right? I still, to some degree, think that's lazy, but I guess maybe I'll give that a pass. But just walking around an anime convention, nothing to sell. I'm just there to enjoy myself. But your costume is like this small. And then don't say hi to me too. Like, don't call me handsome. Like, stay away from me. I don't want to be associated with you. Because I don't want people to think that that's how little work you have to do to get my attention. Because I'm better than that. You see what I'm saying? Maybe that's why I've never been to an anime convention. A lot of these things just don't appeal to me, man. They don't. They just don't. It's a bunch of uncivilized bitches. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. Let's see. Can't find a manipulation video on YouTube. Can someone go on my YouTube and figure out what I named the manipulation series? I can't remember what I named it. The Laws of Manipulation. In fact, before you even watch that one, go watch The Laws of the Game. That's probably where you need to start anyway. Go watch The Laws of the Game. Watch The Laws of the Game. Start from there. How do I get to Wolf, please, Jace? Besides holding frame. Literally what I just told you. Literally what I just... Go and actually learn to be a solid dude. Like, you can't be a wolf and inspire her to be calm around you if you don't have calm in yourself. You're lying to yourself. You gotta learn to control your emotions correctly and learn where to direct them so that you don't end up hating things for no reason. That's how you become the wolf. Dimitri, weren't you the one who had the Russian girl's father like follow you to the date or not? Oh no, not Dimitri. That was I think that was Ryu, right? I already got her back using her heartbreak course, and I taught her how I did it. Now she's avoiding me completely because I taught her the whole game. LOL, I'm cooked. Oh, you're very cooked. Extremely cooked. So cooked. Even that right there. What kind of massive, unnecessary ego made you think you could get away with that? You're not there yet. You did that for your own self-gratification. There was no other reason to do that except for your own self-gratification. Which means you don't have a discipline around that. You're not even disciplined enough to not try to find a way to make yourself look cool. Huh? See? He also said that a man should be capable of danger, not actually dangerous. Exactly. That's a great way to put it, Jordan Peterson. Shout out to Jordan Peterson. Let's see. Also, Jace, I think the Joshua I was thinking of is after Solomon. Forgot about Moses, Joshua. Gotcha. Why care if she comes back? That's a good question. First person I heard the word sim from was DJ Academics back when he used to talk about Chicago. The Chirac War series. Type shit. By the way, what's good, Jay? How you doing, Eonix? I want to give her a good life. That's a good place to start. I taught her to protect herself from other men. This was when we were breaking up. It's not going to work the way you think it will because you're not the man in her life. There's no need to protect herself from other men because she has no solid man yet. Does that make sense? If a girl has a history of toxic exes, do you really got to be toxic to keep her? No. You don't got to be toxic to keep her at all. You just got to be toxic to the same capacity as at least the most toxic ex to let her know you have that ability, right? A big reason imprints have to be the way they are is because you want them to know that you can hurt them as much as the last guy did or even worse. And then even with that capacity to hurt them that much, you choose not to. That's what makes you the guy in her mind. Like, oh, you can shred my heart to pieces worse than the last guy did, but you choose not to, you're the fucking best. That's the guy they want. But you do have to show the ability to shred her heart to pieces, even worse than the last guy. You feel me? That's where that toxicity comes from. I feel you. I've always found that repulsing too. Yes. When she comes back, should I try to make her re-earn me or just accept her back with love? Oh, no, you got to make her pay the price. No matter what, you got to make her pay something. You know, you can't just get back in here for free. Damn, no wonder I like women who are put together. Dude, the way you just hit that on the head, it took me a while, I'll have to admit, but I'll be looking at my girl just do her makeup sometimes and just appreciate that bitch. Because, like, the amount of work that takes, it really is a fucking skill, dude. It really is a skill. Like, you hear me, like, the way I talk about it, like, I talk about how much I like BBLs and lip fillers and all that shit, the hair extensions. Oh, but doesn't that make them fake? I don't see it like that anymore. It's like, that shit is hard. You know how hard it is to maintain a BBL? Holy shit. Right? Now, how many checkups they have to go on to maintain their lip filler? And their Botox to not let their forehead wrinkles and shit. Like, beauty is a skill, man. And it takes a lot of fucking discipline. Like, oh my God. Do you know how hard a woman has to work to keep a six-pack? Holy shit. Right? So, I have an appreciation for the women that are willing to go that extra mile. That's why I don't like these lazy bitches. Because that's what I see it as. Like a chick just come out from the house and she's wearing nothing but 2 pieces of material. That's lazy to me. You could have tried harder. It's easy to do that. There's a low barrier to entry to that. It's easy. Doesn't take much to do that. I could do that. I could walk outside right now with my boxers on. And Lord knows I don't have the social anxiety to feel any way about it either. You know? It's easy. But the chick who goes out of her way to find something to wear that both covers her up but accentuates her curves in a way that you know she's sexy, that's hard. That's hard, bro. Like, that takes planning. That takes skill. And I've really come to appreciate that shit. That's why, like, if you ask me what my favorite article of clothing on a woman is, high-waisted jeans. And believe it or not, there's a philosophical reason behind it too. It's not just the way it's the fact that it creates an illusion of ass that isn't there. Like, if you put high-waisted jeans on a girl that doesn't have that big an ass, it will look like the fattest, juiciest ass ever. So there's a weird, interesting illusion it creates. Very interesting. Like, really go the next time you see a girl with high-waisted jeans on, just look at her. And if she bothers you and goes, my eyes are up here, go, I know, shut up. Look at this right now. There's an interesting illusion there that it creates. And it's not easy to pull off. It really isn't. Any random bitch can wear fucking a mini skirt that they have to pull down the entire night, walking out, wear 2 pieces of material. That's easy. It's easy. Do something difficult. Something that took time. I appreciate when people put time in shit. Alright? It's the same reason I like rap music. when it's done right. Right? There's a reason Eminem is the GOAT. Because you listen to some of his songs and you're like, how long did it take him to come up with this? What is this scheme right now? And how did he find the correct words to mash it all in together and still create not only a perfect rhythm and complex 3 to 5 syllable rhyme schemes, but a coherent story all the way through? I could take this and read it like a speech and it would make perfect sense. It's not all over the place. It takes time, it takes skill. The more you improve yourself in any skill, the more you appreciate the skill of other people, including that of women, and how hard it is to beautify themselves. God damn. Ask your girlfriend how hard it is to pull off a perfectly symmetrical winged eyeliner. Shit is magical, in my opinion. That's math right there. That shit is the Da Vinci Code. Now, obviously, if she's beautiful, it's easier because she's already symmetrical. But still, it's hard. It's hard to do. I appreciate that shit. You know? Look at me ranting. Anyway. So do you only fuck with modest women, Jace? It's like the modesty isn't the point. It's the modesty in combination with like hints of, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, hints of whoredom. Like I don't listen. Being a whore bag is just as easy as being a nun. I don't appreciate either. I don't. Like, in my mind, the girl who walks out of the house, no makeup, hair not done, covering every inch of her body, that's easy too. It takes a little longer, but it's just as easy. I don't appreciate that either. It's not the modesty I care about. It's the art of combining the two in a perfectly seamless way that they become neither. They don't lean to any side too much. That's what I appreciate. Like a bitch just walk out the house, no makeup. Oh, I'm gonna wear the fattest gown that hides all my curves. All in the name of modesty. I don't like that bitch either. She's weird and she's boring. I don't like her. That's easy too. It's easy to walk out the house like that. Right? I said it takes longer. Actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't. It really doesn't. Because even the girl that's walking out with 2 pieces of material, at least she'll go through the work of shaving her whole body. Right? She'll make sure she's as hairless as a newborn baby. But a nun chick or a girl dressed like that can walk around anyhow. You don't know what the hell she looks like under there. I don't care. I don't appreciate that either. That's weird. It's boring. Fuck that. I like the combinations. I like the infusions. When it becomes an artistic decision, that's what I fuck with. That's what I fuck with. You know. I'm into cars and women that come to these things as a guest. Come to car meets? Is that what you're talking about? Jace, can we talk about ego? It's bad or good? How do you use it? The ego is not bad or good. It is. The ego, it just is. It's not a bad or a good thing. It is. You use your ego to propel you towards things, people, and places that will help you to do what you need to do on this earth, with your mission, with your purpose, with your service, all right, with the way you serve others. And that is how you keep the ego in check. So what makes the ego good or bad is the reason for it. Does that make sense? Think about whatever it is you brag about yourself for. If the reason for that is purely selfish, the ego is bad. If the reason for that is selfless, the ego is good. Because there's people that brag about how many cars they have, and there's people that brag about how many lives they've touched. 2 entirely different people. Same amount of ego, 2 entirely different people. If you want to see a massive difference, go and look at Donald Trump. I would say Donald Trump is a perfect example of this. When he first started out, he just did it because he's Trump. At this point, with the way he's moving, entirely different person. Still massive ego. Entirely different person. You see? So, it's all about your intentions. That's what makes ego good or bad. It's how you're using it. The same gun that protects your household from an assailant can also be used by someone to commit a heinous crime. You know? Headed to Brazil with one of my homies for a few weeks to finish an album. He asked friends out there. Nice. Shout out to Brazil. I'll be listening to Brazilian funk sometimes. Tight shit. Shout out to Brazil. Brasilia. If I have changed, how long should I wait to show her, or should I wait for her to reach out? Wait for her to reach out. She'll be back anyway. It's fine. How do we get your confidence? You start with self-belief, and then you go on an immaculate journey that will take you some time, but it's very simple. I always tell people, I'm not fucking God, right? I'm not this superhuman being that's floated down from the heavens. That would be Jesus. That's not me. Everything I've done, you can do. It's very simple. It's just that the barrier to entry is high because of the pain tolerance, the pain cost, right? I can show you the gates to pass, but will you cross them? Want my confidence? Very simple. First, learn the art of becoming confident in yourself without having a reason for it. This is what I talk about in my free course, Self-Belief, link in bio. Learning how to become confident, truly confident in who you are and the identity you have without having to attach it to anything material. Very important. That's the first step. The second step is going through the tests that will naturally come with that when you start moving in that direction, because you will be tested. The universe's job is to test you, and not just the algorithm itself, but the people within it. Their job as the collective is to test to see if you really are capable of being this identity you've decided to sit yourself into. It's important. From there, you begin to move into higher levels of tests. And with each new test comes each new challenge. And with each new challenge comes a new refinement in your identity. All right? I think I'm going to make her pay for... with that to get back with me. You can, sure, but if anything, that'll hint at the fact that you really haven't changed. Right? I'll give you another bit of advice. Whatever it is you're asking her to do for you is a reflection of who you are now, what your priorities are now. If she is like, okay, I want to get back, what do I have to do? And you end up asking her for something like that, that'll tell her that you really haven't changed from the guy she knew before. Because why is that still a priority to you? You see? Again, this is what I'm saying. It has to come from intention. Intention is the first place. Your mindset is the first place. If that's not right, everything else will be wrong. Your actions will be wrong. Your decision-making will be wrong. The things you say will be wrong. Even if you say the right things, they'll come out wrong. Right? See these little things women can use to catch you? Because you're not actually completely aligned. Facts. I saw that one story where she was talking about men complaining about her getting ready. I understand her frustration because that never made sense to me either. Exactly. I remember that actually. The one video from my Snapchat I posted on here, my girl was like, she appreciates the fact that I appreciate the work she puts in for her makeup. Like, hell yeah. I'm just like you on that, just saying. I'm just like you. I never understood hearing guys complain about that shit. Oh, she takes forever to get ready. Yes, she does. Have you seen how much work goes into that shit? You gotta just sit back one time and just appreciate it. Like, really, sit down. If you got a girlfriend, whether you live with her or not, or if you got a wife, just sit down and watch her do her makeup. You don't even have to be going anywhere. Just be like, baby, do me a favor. Can you do your makeup for me real quick? I want to see something. And she'll do it. They're excited to do it. Right? Oh, yeah, you know what? We're going out to lunch. Wear your makeup. I want to see something. And then just stare at her. And the whole time she's going to be blushing and shy and getting ready. What are you doing? Just do your thing. I just want to watch. And then ask her questions. Okay, so that thing you're doing now, what is it called? Foundation? Wait, so you have to put one layer before another layer? Like, wait, well, why though? And then they'll tell you. And the reasons make sense. I promise you. You might think, oh, this is unnecessary. It makes sense. Like some of it is for like waterproofing stuff. Some of it is for like making sure that it lasts all day and it doesn't break and look weird later. Some of it is for like making sure that the sweat doesn't come out weird or leak down her face. There's all these different sciences to it. Like it's a whole science on its own. Just like cooking. Cooking is another, like, the kitchen is a fucking chemistry lab. No one thinks about it like that. No one thinks about it like that. But that is a whole different laboratory. Her vanity mirror is a laboratory. The kitchen is a laboratory. Right? These women have their world and it's fascinating. If you just sit down, relax, slow down, and observe this shit. And then don't even get me started on their closet, dude. You got a girl, like I have a girl that literally will have her entire closet arranged in the same, like, you know, the color spectrum, right? Red into you know, different shades of red, and then orange, and then yellow, and then green, and then blue, and then indigo, and the damn. It's a whole thing. Like, it's a whole science. It really does. Like, you look at some Instagram pictures and you be like, oh, it's just a cool picture. All I saw was ass. And it's like, nah, that bitch took like months to plan that shit. Plan that. Like, the location was on her mind for months. The outfit she was going to wear, she had to wait for certain pieces of it from Shein and certain pieces of it from Burlington, and this piece from Kohl's, and that particular makeup set from... all these different pieces they bring together for one simple photo, one effect. And they probably have like 400 other of that same photo that they discarded because it wasn't the right angle. All right? Like, women are fascinating, dude. Fucking fascinating. Like, just observe these bitches. I'm telling you. It's really fun. Anyway, got you to 10K. Oh, I appreciate that. Oh, we're at 13K right now. Thank you. Appreciate that, guys. Got the auto clicker on the laptop running tight. Shit. I have to invest in one of those. I've been seeing ads for that all over my TikTok. That's fun. The fact that they put in work to look their best every day shows how much they value themselves. I appreciate any kind of hard work and consistency. Exactly. And they do that shit every day. Like, no breaks, bro. No off days, bro. Right? No off days. None. All right, this is why it goes back to why I said I don't appreciate the nuns either. The nuns are gross to me. Like, what do you mean just gonna walk around lazy? Get the fuck out of my face. Weirdos. I'm modest because I don't wear makeup. Get the fuck out of here. Weird. Weirdo behavior. Imagine I walked around talking about I don't go to the gym, I'm modest. Get the fuck out of here. You think let me not go too far in on the boring bitches, the homely bitches. But they say, oh, you're attacking the good ones. They're not good. They're just as evil as the whores. They're just on the different side of the spectrum. Right? The same bitches. Just different. They just don't have the balls to get naked. At least you can respect the whores for like putting themselves out there, literally. But nah, the nuns I don't appreciate either. By the way, what's your workout routine? Also, your thoughts on stuff like whey protein and creatine. That's literally all I use, whey protein and creatine. I really don't use whey as much anymore ever since I found out it's literally just powdered milk. So now I just like up my protein intake with like mostly meat. Chicken, beef, ground beef is like my shit. I have that with everything, you know. I buy ingredients for my mom to cook and then I go pick it up from her place. That's kind of, you know, how I stay eating non-processed foods. I get my jollof rice supply from there. I just went and got one earlier today actually, a new pack of jollof that'll last me another 2 weeks or so. But yeah, that's how I eat. I try to eat as clean as possible. Again, this is coming from a guy that had White Castle like, when was it, last night or 2 nights ago? It was like one of those nights. I'll have my junk food here and there. But for the most part, I really do try to eat like cool, clean, non-processed foods. And then my exercise is some weightlifting, some explosive. I've been incorporating some Goda in there, right? Just to like keep my flexibility and mobility up. I have a tempo karate point fighting style, so I have to keep on my toes a lot when I fight. I mix in a little bit of taekwondo there with my striking as well, and yeah, that is also part of my workout routine is just fighting, right? Hard spars, bag work, shit like that. That's how I stay in shape. Grr, I'm pushing 30. Grr, but I'm still sexy. Grr. Let's see. He ain't just leave out the P, did he? Even that line is crazy to me. Like, he ain't just leave out the P, did he? Oh. Shout out to Eminem, man. My favorite freestyle. I was just showing one of my girls my favorite Eminem freestyle of all time. Whoa, Nelly. Tell Angelina Jolie I'm ready for petroleum jelly. Could smear it all over me belly. Like, I could go crazy. Just that first line alone. The way it rhymes is one thing, but the fact that it's a coherent sentence. Tell Angelina Jolie I'm ready with petroleum jelly. Could smear it all over me belly. It's perfectly coherent. It's a sentence, you can tell. And it's vulgar, which is, reminiscent of old Slim Shady. Maybe we can meet up at how do you say it? Maybe we can meet up at appropriate telly. A Motel 6 to 8th, I think they both could be heady. I hit it, then I quit it, then I told her, email me and don't call me. I call you, can you feel me, ho? Do you smell me? Like, come on, son. Come on. There's a reason Eminem shows up 4 times in my top 10 list of most well-written songs of all time. He has 4 entries. And yes, he is number 1 and 2 as well. Like, he's good. He's fucking good. You listen to these songs and it's like, he got to come up with an album full of these? An album? Like, multiple songs? Multiple bars? Multiple run-on sentences? On a beat? Jesus. What are good boundaries to have and how to punish just retract attention? Why are you still worried about boundaries and attention? Bro, you're trying to solve for the wrong problem. Don't worry about boundaries right now, dude. Go be a better person. You feel me? Go be a better person. Stop trying to punish people all the time. I think guys who complain about girls getting ready or looking good just have an internal grudge. It could be that, or they just don't, like, they themselves haven't had to put in work for anything in their lives, so they don't really appreciate effort. Like, you want to know why me and you click on this, just saying? It's because we're both guys that have put in work to something, right? I don't even know what you look like, but I can tell just by the way you talk, you appreciate effort because you know the extent of effort. You know, like, why it's so important. Right, and how hard it is to put into anything, especially for a long period of time. Right, that's why guys like us, we appreciate effort. The guys like that don't appreciate effort or don't even see it at all, they're that way because they haven't really acquainted themselves with effort at all. That's why they're like that, We got you to 10K, give us some dark game, please. That is not the fucking deal. The deal was 10K, I put this on YouTube. Don't get greedy. How greedy. That's what the UK boys are saying these days. How greedy. That should be cracking me up. How greedy. That's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. All thanks to me because I have the auto clicker. Type shit. I appreciate it. How to kill the ego or not listen to your thoughts. You don't have to do either. You don't have to kill your ego. You have to redirect it and give it a better foundation, a better reason for its existence. And you don't have to not listen to your thoughts. You just have to discern them. If you're having trouble listening to your thoughts, it's probably because you're giving more credence to the negative ones. You're getting positive and negative thoughts all the time. But if you're training yourself to only ever listen to the negative ones, then yeah, you're always going to have that issue with, I got to block out these thoughts. It's not the thoughts you got to block out. It's you got to retrain yourself to begin to pay more attention to the positive ones. And by the way, that is really what it comes down to on a practical level. You don't ever eradicate evil. You don't go out of your way to eradicate evil. You replace evil with good. That's what you should be doing. All right? That's another reason why I like women who cosplay. You know what? That is something I can appreciate. Cosplay is difficult. From what I can tell. That shit is hard. Like, coming up with the idea, the way they have to make their own resourceful adjustments to converting certain items from the show or the anime or the mangaka into real life. Like, the amount of work that goes into cosplay, I look at some of these videos, I'm genuinely surprised I don't follow more cosplayers. I probably should. Are any good cosplayers you guys think I should follow? Let me know in the comments. But, like, that shit looks hard. I've seen motherfuckers, like, cut things up, put things out to dry, wash things, repaint things just to, like, set their costumes up. These things are impressive. Very impressive. I think I would really appreciate the cosplayers that go out of their way to show how they made their cosplay items or costumes. I think that's the ones I would really appreciate. You know? Jace, your wisdom is too addictive. I'm staying up all night learning from you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it's not my wisdom. It doesn't belong to me. I'm just the guy that knows it and shares it, guys. I'm not the source. I'm just the conduit. When you withdraw attention, is it until she submits or just a few days to give her that pain? You're still trying to punish people. But the correct answer is until she submits. Look into flow ops instead of Goda. Flow ops. What's that? Write that down. Not Goda. Goda is pretty good for me, though. I like the way it makes my hips feel. I feel like I've opened up my hips because of Goda, honestly. Flow ops. Look into flow. Alright, that's in the notes now. We're going to check that out. Dark game is needed like water is my first time my ears would hear it. That's funny. Most interactions are built on deception. Yes, because most people are deceptive. I want to learn about boundaries for my next girl, please. I'll be a better person, though. No, it's not boundaries you need to learn. Stop it. It's not boundaries you need to learn. You need to learn how to distribute your time and attention. Boundaries isn't the issue. Your girl didn't leave you because you had boundary issues. Your girl had issues with you because you didn't have a firm enough identity. Okay? Would you debate other creators live? Maybe for fun, or if I think there's some kind of like benefit to it, maybe. But I've come to find personally, and you're talking to like a debate champion back in high school. Those debates don't really change anyone's minds. People already have like their ways set in before they watch any debates. You're not really changing much, and I care more about impact, than anything. So, that's how I feel about it anyway. So I mean, it will happen inevitably. Like knowing me, the moves I'm about to make, all that good stuff, it's inevitable. But it's whatever for me, really. It's not a priority. That makes sense, and yeah, I was raised that way to always put in my best effort. Yes. 20K likes Dark game. Nah, I gotta go watch the fight soon, actually. I gotta go. Actually, I gotta go now. It's like 10 o'clock. I gotta go. Girls, why do girls come back after breakup, especially when she left? Because they gotta check if they made the right decision. The way women make decisions is from emotions first. Right? They first feel something, then they find the rationale and whatever logic they can find to justify the emotion and the decisions from it. Men are kind of the opposite, but for women, that's how they make decisions. But see, that's the thing. When you make an emotional decision, you have to come back and confirm with more logic that you made the right decision, which kind of leaves them open to finding out that they were wrong, which is why they come back. Your job when they come back is to make sure that they know that they were wrong. For sure. And then that's when the regret happens and begs you back, blah, blah. And Chung Jae's hyper-arc stuff. And Chung? Is that what they're called? And Chung? And Chung. Jae, I'm guessing, with an X. Jae. Hyper-arc. Okay. Kill. It was ridiculous, my girl rationalizing being with a single dad with 2 kids that vapes and parties. You'd be surprised, man. When she comes back, ask her to lie and backstab her sister for you. Otherwise, she's a liar. Type shit. Oh, okay. Zhang Jie. Okay, so no and. So I just kind of read that as a run-in sentence, but as her name. That's my bad. That was probably very racist of me, too. Apologies, my Asian community. Just and. Okay. He has an account on IG called The Secret of Athleticism. Okay. And he's the flow ops guy, I'm guessing? Because I have it under the same note. Of athleticism. That sounds so fun and new. Okay. The community is a bit dead besides the lives. You'll upload new content soon, Jace? Sure. I'm going to be uploading those morning content to that, so it's fine. There we go. Also, you low-key deserve her bank account for the hurt you felt. That's funny. Sure. All right. I got to go. It's fight time, fellas. I have to bounce. I have to go. I got to bounce. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here with me. Let's go watch this fight now and enjoy this fight. This is going to be fun to watch. Right? It's going to be very fun to watch. But yeah. Links are in the bio for everything you need. Free course, paid course, all that good stuff. Just links are in the bio. I love you. I appreciate you. It's been Jace the Favorite Scientist. With all this information, what you must.